Hey Diamonds, it's Sherah here, your star director, and we are at day 3 of our Leap to Lead program. Thank you everyone that's watched the Hamish and Andy video that I posted earlier, part 1. We're up to part 2 now. Some of the things that stood out to me from that video, firstly that it was only $2 for them to purchase a ticket to see Ed Sheeran for 30 seconds. That's just such a, it's so cheap that it just seems, if they approached me, that there's no way that that could be true because it's too small of an investment for something that's so cool. The other thing that stood out was that the fact that it took 2 hours and 23 minutes before the first 2 people decided to take them up on the offer and to take a chance and see if this was legit. And they definitely had to go out of their comfort zone to do that. You could see by the girl's reaction that when she was walking in, she looked a little bit hesitant, and the things she was saying, her body language, even right before the curtains opened, she said, "Oh, I'm feeling a bit scared." And but then when the curtains did open and they saw that he was there, they would have both very quickly realised how great a return on their investment, their $2 investment each, really was. One of the other guys said that it was the best $2 that he'd ever spent, which I tend to agree with him. That would be hard to match. But yeah, what an incredible experience. Another way of looking at this video too was from the side that that so many people that were approached by Hamish missed out on the opportunity that was in front of them. They definitely would have prejudged him on things that Hamish and Andy set up, like his appearance to look like a bit of a shady character, and having to go in a room that they weren't familiar with. So, the unknown was, would be a turn off too. And the price, like I said before, if that, with that $2 being so cheap, that would absolutely turn me off, as in, yeah, whatever, you're just going to waste my time. So they set things up for them to naturally prejudge, which made it a pretty cool experiment to watch. If you guys were starting a restaurant as a business, as opposed to Scentsy, on your opening night, it would be your friends and family that would be the ones that would come and support you with that. They would come and, celebrate with you and enjoy that opening. But it wouldn't be fair to expect them to be your only customers moving forward, and that's not something you would ever want. You would absolutely appreciate their help in spreading the word, because we know word of mouth advertising is the best form of advertising. But through them telling, their friends, and then they're telling their friends and families, and it just continues on, that's a great way to get your business name out there and help you to get off to a great start with a new business. If you don't move quickly past your friends and family in any business, you're going to go out of business, or it's not going to be a profitable business. So it's, it starts to become an expense to you. So when it comes to Scentsy, the best thing your friends and family can do, especially at your launch party, is to encourage them to host a party for you, so that you're then able to meet, their friends that you might not be as close to, and then obviously their friends and family. So how does this Hamish and Andy video relate to Scentsy? I want you to think of Scentsy as being Ed Sheeran in the video to start with. So to join up Scentsy, we can offer that to people for $139. That's an incredibly cheap price to start a business. Some might see that as too small of an investment to be something that you can take seriously. It would definitely take a leap of faith for them of going outside of their comfort zone. If they're not sure of, is this legit? Is this going to be a good business? All of those kind of things. I'm sure we'd do a better invite than Hamish did with his shady character outfit, but nonetheless, if they don't know you, that might be just how we come across to them. With starting your Scentsy business, if you stay in that comfort zone of just selling to your friends and family, because that is very comfortable and easy to do, it's not going to be fair on them, and your business isn't going to take off to the levels that it can. However, if you decide to get out of that comfort zone, just like the people that went and saw Ed Sheeran, you can see quite a fantastic return on that investment. And you'll even hear people say, and I've definitely said it, that it was the best $139 that I've ever spent, because with that I've had incredible experiences and opportunities and that in ways that it's been able to bless my family as well. Another way to look at this too is with the prejudging. How many people will miss out on the Scentsy opportunity because we have prejudged them? It's so easy to do, especially as women, and it's a natural thing to do too, that we will look at people's appearance. We will decide for them whether we think they have enough money or too much money, or perhaps they're too successful to ever think to look at Scentsy, or too busy. We can even prejudge that people wouldn't even be interested in fragrance. And I think one that I had to learn to quickly change my mindset on was just men in general. I would think, women would be more interested in this. But, once I changed my mindset and stopped prejudging that, I found that men were incredibly interested in Scentsy. In fact, they love it, and I've got some fantastic customers that are men. There's, I heard a story from Orville actually, who mentioned about that after you have a meal at a good restaurant, normally the waitress will come up and she will offer everybody at the table a tea or coffee. He mentioned that that's her job, that it's not up to her to look at everybody and decide, I don't think they'd like coffee, or I might just offer them tea, or I'm not going to offer them anything, I don't think they would want it. That her job is to give everyone the opportunity to say yes if they'd like it, or no. And basically it's not up to her to prejudge who's going to miss out. Would that waitress take offence if somebody said no to wanting a tea or coffee? Of course not, because it's just her job to ask. If they say yes, she'll get it. If they say no, she moves to the next person. And that's a really good way to look with our Scentsy business when we talk to people about Scentsy and offering them an opportunity, that it's not our job to convince people to, buy or host or join Scentsy, but it is definitely our job to offer them the opportunity to do all of those three things. So we have our friends and families and our hosts that continue to give us fantastic word of mouth referrals and to expand our customer and host and potential team base that we have. But what can we do ourselves to really speed that up and to make it happen for ourselves? And that's what we're going to talk about today with our active prospect list. Prospect means a potential customer, host, or team member. So number 1, constantly expand your list. Successful people in Scentsy, they look at finding prospects as a skill. The good news about that is that a skill is something all of us can learn and get really good at. So if you were to ask any of the high income earners in Scentsy how many of their team members or customers or hosts they knew before they started Scentsy, they would all tell you that the majority of their people in their business they met after they were involved. In other words, their initial list of 100 that we should all do when we join up, it is not key to their current success. It's their skills moving forward from that and continually updating their prospect list that have helped them get those people. The next thing you need to do is you need to increase your awareness. It's our job as we get out of our comfort zone to take notice of more things around us. In different situations, wherever you are, see what people are doing. If it's great service, go and tell them how great that is and how much you appreciate that. We are constantly presented with opportunities where we can make connections with people. We don't have to talk Scentsy the second we see them or start making that connection with them. It depends on the situation. It depends on the person. It might take a week. It might take a month. It could take months. But it's key in building those relationships, those connections, is that you use active listening, that you are listening for key words, that you can find common ground on, that you ask them questions. When you ask questions, they're going to naturally ask questions back, and people are never bored when they're doing talking. So ask questions, get them talking, and find that common ground. Listen for key words. And that's going to help you to build connections with them, to build a relationship, and also to build trust. And then when it's the right time that Scentsy does come along, they already know you, they like you, and they trust you, which means they're more likely to go into business with you. It's not that unfamiliar room like the people on the Hamish and Andy experiment. Third thing, never prejudge. Just like I talked about that waitress in the coffee shop before, we can't prejudge. You just never know what that person's circumstances are or what their needs are at this time that Scentsy might be able to meet for them. We need to make sure we give people the opportunity to say yes or no, and make sure we don't take offense if it's no. It's our job to ask them, and it might not be the right time for them now. It's not a direct insult on us or something we'd need to take offense to. And if you just change that little mindset, it makes a huge difference. Those who do prejudge in this situation, not only are you missing out, but they're missing out on the opportunity as well. And I absolutely guarantee you, I don't know how soon down the track, but it will happen, that if you don't ask them, somebody else will. And yeah, there's nothing you can do about it then. So make sure you're the ones to do the asking. Number 4, network on purpose. Go and volunteer at a local charity or your local community group. You can even start up your own or join a networking group. Start going to the gym, meet people there, talk to them, or a team sport. Expand on your hobbies. Networking gives you the opportunity to meet all sorts of people when you are actively out there looking for opportunities to connect with people. So growing your active prospect list isn't the only benefit to networking. You're also going to make some fantastic friends along the way as well, and getting to work with them down the track, or even just have that extra excuse to be in contact with as a Scentsy customer or a host is just a huge bonus. So today's tasks. In your notebook, I want you to open up to a double blank page and put a title up the top for your ongoing, constantly expanding list. That's going to happen. Title it Active Prospect List. And then I want you to start writing down the names of everyone you know, just like you would in the list of 100. I want you to write down people's names as if you were getting paid $100 per name that you're putting down. So creates a bit of urgency. And then once you have those names, nothing else on the page, on the lines next to them, leave them blank, just one name per line. I want you to number them. And then I want you to comment below with how many names you managed to come up with on your list. No list is too long, that is for sure. I would hope that you, well, no list is too short either if you work them properly and keep adding to it. But I want you to write down as many names as you can think of and write that number in the comment below, and make sure you're honest with it. There's no right or wrong answer here. And then I want you to commit that you're going to add 2 more people's names each day of this challenge. And that is it for today.